Hey, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. My name is Wes Dove with Dove Development Consulting, and I'm getting to do the annual drawings from our photo contest that was tied to Leadership Legacy Experience that we held last Friday, June 12th, 2026. Easy for me to say, right? So we had a great turnout at the event. We've launched our people optimization system. We had two on-stage amazing executive panels. I did a series of interviews around the concourse over lunch with some other amazing leaders, all of which were tied to my newest book, The Values Advantage. More specifically, as we work toward that whole people optimization system process, and initially, as we're now working into the pilot process, the pilot application process for our values optimization system that goes with that. So we've got a couple different things. I'm going to share in the comments a few different things. One is the opportunity to take the 5 stages of values alignment assessment that we've created. We've worked with our friend and now business partner, Lane Jones, who was the midday keynote speaker, to create this assessment that really helps you identify what stage of values are you at in your organization. So I'm going to share that in the comments wherever you're seeing this. And I'm also, as that populates, I'm going to share one more thing, and that's going to be the opportunity to submit an application for our values optimization pilot program. Now, there's zero cost in either of these. It's how do we bless you? How do we give you tools? And the pilot application process is a lot more about a conversation and how do we make sure it's the right fit. The reality is we're looking for between 20 and 30 pilot applications, but we're going to have to nail it down to about 5 or 6 in different industries and different sectors to make sure that we're serving them right and really working through the process for when we launch it. We take it to market nationally in early 2027. So more to come on that process. We look forward to working with whomever that is and just being a blessing to those organizations. Now, with that said, you see on screen currently people optimization, the direction, the leadership, the values, the growth, the experience, the 5 different components that are going to be rolled out over time in that values, that people optimization system. I jokingly said from stage, it's the POS to keep your business from being a POS, pun intended right there. What we're going to do, so for the last several years from our Live to Lead Harrisonburg events, and then last year with our Leadership Legacy Experience 2025, we did a photo contest, and it was really to give folks the opportunity to individually and corporately get some visibility around their organizations, around their participation in the event that we hosted. We had an amazing turnout, close to 100 organizations represented in James Madison University's Atlantic Union Bank Center with us. Had a lot of folks do cool posts and capture such meaningful moments from the day. So I use a tool called Wheel of Names. It's pretty neat, and I'm gonna pull that on screen so you can see it. But I've done 2 different ones. It's going to take just a second to be able to get it up on the screen for us. And here we go with that. And there's 2 different things. Let's do it to where you see it in the big screen, because that's more important than me in this particular case. You see 2 different things right there. The first one with the gray and the blue, that's our individual contributors or contest participants and so on and so forth. And what I'm going to do in just a second is spin that, but we're going to do 3 drawings for that. And unlike many other years, in some years we just did 1 total, that was it, but we had so many folks participate, so many great opportunities, and we wanted to be a blessing. So our first place drawing is going to be a seat in either our public emerging leader development course or a public recruitment, retention, and culture course. We offer those a couple times locally each year in the Harrisonburg area. That's who was there by and large. So we're going to offer spots in that. Those retail, that first prize retails for public participants. That's a $447 value. And it includes lifetime access to the digital course that corresponds with either of those particular courses. That's first prize. Second prize is going to be a seat in our executive summit session. That's going to be on Friday, October 16th or 17th. I don't have the calendar in front of me, but it's one of those 2 days. And we're going to do that for the third, and for the second prize. The third prize is going to be a seat. Not a seat, a special book bundle. So I've written 3 books myself, and the most recent is The Values Advantage. I've also contributed, Cindy and I contributed chapter to a book called Discover Your Team's Potential. It made number 8 on Amazon's bestseller list back in 2019. And then in 2021 or 2022, I joined a friend of mine named Brian Brogan and contributed to the volume 1 of his Voices for Leadership series. So I'm going to include signed copies of all 5 books, but the Values Advantage is going to be something special. We made a special run, very limited. I think there's 28 copies total in the world. That's all it's going to be, of a hardback special edition. You can't get them anywhere else, and it will be signed by all the contributors, all 15, I think, including Mark Cole, Craig Johnson, Lane Jones, all the folks that contributed to the Real World Examples chapter, Cindy and myself. So that's going to be something special in this book bundle. That's the 3rd prize. So we're going to do those real quick, and I'll remember to write them down as we do it. And then I'll move over to the corporate drawing that we do next, and I'll tell you what that's going to be. Here we go. Ready for number 1. And first prize is Jake Cuban. Jake's a longtime friend of mine. Jake and I have been friends for close to 30 years and worked together for a long, long time. And he's going to get the access. He just went through, matter of fact, just yesterday, we presented his certificate for emerging leader development. So that will likely be, unless he wants to gift it to somebody in his organization, the Recruitment, Retention, and Culture public course. Jake, I'll connect with you on that soon. So second prize for the individual drawings, we're going to run that right now and see who gets this. And that is Bryn McIntyre Rankin. Bryn is an absolute rock star. She helped us out with so many different pieces of the event. Bryn, we appreciate you. I'll get in touch with you directly on second prize. That's a seat in the Executive Summit. And here, wait a minute. Oh, now let's see who number 3 is. And Jim Saunders. Jim and his wife Carla came from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jim's a good friend of ours. We've gotten to know Jim over the last several years. Jim, you're going to get the book bundle, and I know you love reading. Jim's goal, we were with Jim in Galveston a few weeks ago, and Jim talked about his goal for the year was to, I believe, to read 80 books. And at that point in time, he was knocking it out. That was in late March. We've been together a couple of times since then, and he'll far surpass that. But Jim, I'm going to have 5 coming to you, including one of those hardback special editions. We'll connect and get that to you soon. Thanks so much, buddy. Now, let's get to the corporate one. Now, corporately, we had some amazing organizations participate, and we're going to do something special with this year. We're creating a digital game plan resource from the 2026 Leadership Legacy, and we're going to gift the one corporation that wins this one. You're going to get up to 10 full workbooks that we created for the event and seats in the digital game plan. So the digital game plan, we made a special offer day of the event that's going to include all the segments from the event, Mark Cole's sessions, the VIP lunch, as well as his wrap-up keynote. Contractually, I've got to pull them down on December 12th because we've got rights to it for 6 months. But everything else in that will be completely licensed, completely yours indefinitely for those 10 folks. Now, the folks that had VIP had this included. If you were there as general admission, it's a cool bonus for you. But if you weren't there, this is something we're going to be offering publicly. I think the retail price I have listed on this year, because I'm probably going to have 2 hours in creating this product, 200 hours, that is, not including all the other back end stuff and so on. But it's a lot of work that's went into it. It's going to be probably 40 hours worth of content with interviews with our executive panelists, our speakers, our partners, and so on. Just a ton of leadership resources. So with that said, 10 seats, including the workbook, and we can work through some other details with that too. But the company that wins that is Valley Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. That's Adam Van Nortwick. Adam, you're a rock star, man. I know you don't have 10 members of your team, so we'll work through the details on that, make sure I'm serving you the right way. Matter of fact, you've got access as a digital. You know what, Adam? You're going to get something, and I'm going to make notes so I don't forget this, but I'm going to do a drawing because we need to serve you in a different way. And I'm going to spin the wheel again and make sure we get a company that is indeed a winner that can benefit from it, full access. So that looks like our friends at Waynesboro Landscape and Garden Center. Craig Johnson, the Johnson family, I'll connect with you. We'll make sure that we get 10 more of your team members access to this resource so we can continue growing the business that served as the example for the values advantage. So with all that said, guys, we are absolutely thrilled to have completed a successful 2026 Leadership Legacy. We look forward to connecting with you soon. And if you've got questions, I'll be getting in touch with folks, but you guys reach out to us directly if you have those, and we'll see you soon. Make it a great day, and God bless.